Olight Seeker 3 Pro. Are you all familiar with this one? I mean, maybe not this one because it's kind of brand new as I'm making this video, but the Seeker 2 Pro, if you're familiar with that one, if you've been around Olight for a while, the Seeker 2 Pro in its own right was an amazing light. Similar form factor, similar size, 3200 lumens. It was crazy bright with its 3 LEDs. This one takes that and trumps it now with 4 LEDs, now 4200 lumens, 31% brighter, and the same very compact form factor. This is an amazing light for the size and the weight and everything. So let's take a look at it if you're not familiar with it. Getting some of the formalities of this light out of the way, it comes in 4 colors, black, and there's also a desert tan, night wolf blue, and orange. The 3 colors are limited edition, being made in 6,000 and 7,000 pieces each. And if you all know how many O fans there are, those are going to go quickly, especially during the flash sales. So if you want the colors, pick them up while you can. Also, a kind of interesting note, speaking of limited edition stuff, on the little rotary dial there, you see there's an eye. I got an eye on mine. They come randomly with the whole Olight word on different lights. So if you are, again, an Olight freak, maybe you want to spend a ton of money and get the whole Olight Seeker 3 Pro set. That's a lot of money. I think one is plenty. Price-wise on these, $199 or $200 roughly, but if you can get them again on the flash sale, right now they're going to be down to $139, so take advantage of that while you can. These 4 LEDs, they say, will throw 250 meters. It gives a pretty broad, diffuse, crazy bright beam on the turbo, and we'll take a look at that in a bit. Comes with the standard Olight box. I love the Olight packaging. I love the pictures on it. I say this every time, but I like the Olight packaging. Let's come down here and have a look at the rest of the stuff that comes with it. So it, of course, comes with the instruction pamphlet, which I recommend you reading, although we're going to cover it, but this light does have some neat features, so I recommend checking that out. It comes with the Olight magnetic charging cable. However, this one is 2 amps versus the standard 1 amp charging cable, so this is going to charge faster. Also of note, on the back, you can tell the difference between them because the 2 amp one is red and the standard ones are black. It has their standard magnetic charging on the back. Lights up red when it's charging, turns green when it's fully charged. And then this does not have a pocket clip. It is a pretty small, relatively so, light. It doesn't have a pocket clip, but it does come with a belt clip case. And this functions by opening that there, putting the light down in there, snapping that shut. On the back there is a snap closure. You can either feed a belt through here that way, or there's also a D-ring if you wanted to hang it from something. Looking at the design of the light on the back is that magnetic charging port like I mentioned. There's a spot for a lanyard right here if you wanted to throw one of those in there. Taking off the back, this is IPX rated, so of course there's the O-rings and all that stuff. It does come with a custom Olight 21700 5000 milliamp hour battery. And of note, when you put this in, it goes what would be considered backwards for most light. The positive pole goes at the rear of the light. I don't think it's going to work the other way, so you'll realize that, but it even shows positive and negative on the side here. But screw that back down. On the sides of the light here, there is this really nice feeling silicone rubber type feeling that gives it a nice grip when you're holding it. And it does have some scalloping for fingers, so again, it's a really nice grip compared to just a standard metal aluminum light like most lights are. A light there, the name of it there. On the other side, some stuff. Moving up towards the heatsink on the front there, heatsink there. The button here I'll get to in a little bit, and then up in the front there are those 4 LEDs with that TIR lens, and right here there's a proximity sensor, which I'll show you in a little bit. We'll dim it when this gets in close to something. They say this has a beam distance of 250 meters. I don't know if that's officially true or not, but I will say this light is crazy bright, and we will take this outside and have a look at it. The user interface on this light is kind of unique because every time you turn this off for more than 30 seconds, it goes into lockout mode. It's not a tactical light, so you're not going to need to get this on super quickly. You can get it on pretty quick, as I'll show you, but it does go into lockout mode every time you turn it off for 30 seconds. The dial here, on each side of the dial, there's 4 LEDs. 4 on this side, which are the charge indicator, and 4 on this side, which is the brightness indicator. While it's locked out, or even when you turn it on, if you just simply hold this down, they'll light up to show you that in this case, it's in at least that top 25% of charge. And you can see that because it's locked out, it's not turning on. The way you get it out of the lockout mode is you just turn this dial, this is a dial, and you rotate it 90 degrees. I would just give it a couple turns, but 90 degrees, and then you can turn it on. If you've been around flashlights and specifically Olights as well for a while, the user interface is going to be very familiar. You long press and it goes into the Moonlight mode, 5 lumens for 15 days, and then to cycle through the middle 3 modes, you just hold it down and it goes through low, medium, high, just kind of toggles between the 3 of those. From any brightness, then if you double click, it goes into that turbo, crazy 4200 lumens, and then if you triple click, it goes into the strobe. If it is in the turbo and you single click, it goes off. If, however, say it's in the low mode, you go into that turbo, you long press it, it goes back to whatever mode it was in, and then you can click it again and it turns off. Also, because this is a dial here, when you turn it on, right now it's in that Moonlight mode, by just simply spinning the dial, you can see that the LEDs on the side here are lighting up more as the brightness goes up. So you can essentially dial a brightness with that dial there if you don't like any of the preset brightnesses. There's also that proximity sensor, as I mentioned. So when this light starts getting close to something, you can see it dims down. I would say that's really pretty close. I would maybe want that to do it slightly farther away because in that turbo, but nonetheless, it does have that proximity sensor, which is a unique feature that I haven't seen on really many other lights. Runtimes, it will do that 5 lumen Moonlight mode for 15 days. 50 lumens for 55.5 hours. That's over 2 days, obviously. Medium is 300 lumens for 10.6 hours. High is 1200 lumens for 135 minutes. So 1200 lumens for over 2 hours. Really bright for really long. It then ramps down to 600 lumens for 35 minutes. See it ramp down there? Proximity sensor. And then it goes down to 300 lumens for 10 minutes. And then the turbo, it does that 4200 lumens for 2.5 minutes, and then ramps down to 1200 lumens for 127 minutes, and then down to 600 for 35 minutes. There's Moonlight, low, medium, high, and turbo. It's about 50 yards away. And you can see broad beam lighting up kind of a large area of those trees over there. Here we are on Moonlight, low, medium, high. There's that 1200 lumens, and then going all the way up, you can see crazy bright. Lights up a very big area. Off into the distance there, it kind of gets diffuse before it gets out too far, so you don't get a great idea of what's at those trees back there, but you certainly get a good amount of broad throw to it. If we go closer to this field, looking at it on these trees over here, again, you can see just how much of an area it's lighting up on those trees. We have Moonlight up close here, low, medium, high, and turbo. And again, you can see pretty broad. Not quite as much of a thrower, but you still get a ways out there. Also, the tail is magnetic, so if you had something metal to mount it to, you could do that. Maybe the inside of the hood of a car or anything else metal you might want to stick it to, so another option for using it in that sense. So, as I've kind of pointed out here, this light, for the size, which is to say not that big, very easy to carry, very easy to hold, and the brightness, which is insane, you put those two together, this is an amazing light. Maybe you don't always need 4200 lumens, maybe you just need 50 lumens that's going to do for over 2 days. For a small light that you can kind of stick on things, it's still amazing. So if you have a need for something like this, I totally recommend checking this out during the flash sale. Get all 4 fashion colors if you are sprightly and crazy like that, or just get the black one. But check it out, the Olight Seeker 3 Pro.